All right. Hold on. Let me adjust my microphone here. See if we got everything set up properly. We're going to get started here. Let me check my signal. Make sure my voice is coming through. We'll do some quick posts online, and then we'll get to work. So let's see. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. And then yeah, it sounds really rich. Good. That's where we need to be at. Hopefully that volume doesn't get in the way of myself. It gets in the way of myself. Let's drop that down. I don't want to mute it because then it'll be on bot patrol, but that should be able to tag it okay. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. What's up? I create role-playing games. I illustrate them and I publish them online. And I've been building mechanical supplements for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Now using the 2024 rules. Quick backstory about myself. I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been creating content for 5th edition on DMsGuild since 2017. I'll be starting to launch Kickstarters probably in 2026. So if this process that we're going through here and 6 days a week is the same process that I will be performing for Kickstarters, which is we build documents, and then we do layouts and illustration, and then we publish the thing for people to chew on. In the meantime, I provide free work in progress Google Docs for people to tag along and see the mechanics, and if it's something that you're interested in playtesting, then you're welcome to explore that idea. I've got a number of books on the DMsGuild already. Hold on, let me fix my screen here real quick. Here on YouTube, like, hey, more subscribers. Thanks a lot, guys. Holy Hannah. Thank you. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications of when we're live in the future. When we finish a book, like, for example, let's look at the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration book, which is the most recent thing that I published on my own. This was back in March, but you can see this is a mechanical breakdown converting ship combat into the 5-foot scale combat grid system that we use for 5th edition. Except that it works at scales of 50 and 500 feet or a mile. 5 feet, 50 feet, 500 feet, 5,200, and 5,000 feet equals a mile. So 5 feet, 50 feet, 500 foot, 1 mile, 10 miles, 100 miles, 1,000 miles. And then you're working at spell jamming speeds of 100 million miles per day. So you can just scale out your grid from combat squares into wild space exploration using the same mechanical scaling for grid movement. So as well as like rules about like how far away can you see things, and like all sorts of like interacting with objects in space and the astral plane and moving and thought and different combat systems, a fleet and squadron system, converting your character's action economy into ship economy so that people are sharing actions to execute different commands on a ship. So you don't have like a role, but roles define like what kind of action economy you're using. So you could be like both a pilot and like say a siege crew commander. So you're navigating the ship and then firing siege weapons at the same time using your character's action economy through your crew. So it's a different way of like scaling the idea of combat. So it's 107 pages between that combat idea and all of these different like hex crawl exploration ideas in wild space. And we did literally all of the artwork in like 300 episodes last year. So you can check in the stream down below to see that. But all my books are free previews. So you can read the entire thing. If it adds life to your campaign, then stick around because I'm constantly building new books. The book that we're building right now is Bastion campaigns. From my history in, hold on, let me make sure you guys can actually see what we're doing here. Good. Okay, so the button I pressed here is the Bastion's playtest document. It is a Google Doc. It's read only for you, so you can look, but you can't copy paste it. You can take the ideas, but obviously we're building it here, and you guys can start using this stuff like immediately in your campaign if these ideas grab you. It's still a very rough document. It's a work in progress. It's designed here to demonstrate the work, because again, if I start doing Kickstarters with these kind of ideas, this is that process that we're going through. So if you're a Kickstarter backer, you're literally helping me build the thing. So keep that in mind if you think these ideas are cool. But so you can tag along and watch as we build this. And we're going to be getting into the meat of it here. But let me just do a quick little conversation about the history, because in the old, and I've talked about this before, the original BECME in first edition, it was your characters accumulated power so that they could eventually gain dominion. It was called dominion play, where you would have a territory that was under your character's auspice, watch. It was your domain, and so you were responsible for that domain, and it allowed you to engage the campaign at this kingdom level. Like at first you're just adventurers, and then you build a fort or whatever, a bastion in 5th edition. And that bastion accumulates and attracts more followers until you start building a presence in the environment around you. And then it shifts into, now I have this settlement, this kingdom or city-state or whatever. I have this space on the map that is mine, and there's other bastions, NPCs, nations, guilds. There's other organizations that are also occupying space, and now we're competing for territory at the kingdom level. Your characters naturally evolve into these leaders, where fighters especially would accumulate armies of low level or low rank soldiers that would follow you, and then you would engage in warfare against other kingdoms. And obviously with the Spelljammer book that I built, you can see that we're on the path towards having a 5e action economy combat system at the mass scale, which works great. You can see some of the in-command content that I have playtested down below. You can see how that stuff works. It's exactly the same as squadron and fleet combat in the Spelljammer book. So check that out, and you'll get the gist of how you can organize large groups of people to work together towards achieving actions inside of a round of combat. So same idea, just take it away from vehicles and make those vehicles creatures, and then you're good to go. So it's a very easy conversion. I just got to go through the process of doing it and build a book for you, which we will do here on stream for you guys to mess around with. So this is the first leg of it, which is building the region, the control. 5e calls it a bastion. In earlier editions, it was just called dominion play, where you establish that settlement, that foothold in the environment. And then that becomes the hinge around your adventuring. The conflicts that you face are normally like border disputes, or a new threat has entered your territory, or a neighboring kingdom is being overwhelmed and they call for help, so you do. And this could be at the character level for like high risk, high threat, evil villain bosses, but they typically have hordes of minions, which you could also engage with at the squad, like at the squad or army level, to engage at large scale combat, to then bring it into your characters facing off against the enemy commander and defeating them. And then like you've saved that kingdom, so now that kingdom is your ally, and you expand your control. So that's the style of play. So in 5e, they're using Bastion basically as a character resource, as a place for your characters to retreat to and have like their downtime, which is basically like ... until next time, right? It's that space between adventures. And the Bastion system that they built in the DMG 2024 is you can have, you can create your own magic items or gain your own resources, or you can equip you equip your character with magic or mundane gear, like potions, magic items, healing, equipment, whatever, poison. You're using your Bastion to equip your characters with stuff, which technically lightens the burden on the DM for having to provide magic items. The Bastion system complements the idea of less combat, more exploration and social interaction. Everything in the Bastion system is social interaction. There are no successes and failures built into it, which kind of forces it into a background activity. In the Dominion style play from older editions, if you were trying to achieve something, you were being constantly challenged by different obstacles, or what we're calling complications. So in the Bastion campaigns book that we're building, we're shifting gears. I've talked about this. There's 3 gears in D&D 5e. There's combat, exploration, and social interaction. And combat has more pieces, like has more gears, has more engine built into it than like with action economy and bonus actions and reactions and timing, 6-second, like the round of combat that rotates between participants, versus the exploration pillar, which is basically ability checks. And whatever that ability check is, it could resolve complications for an entire day or even a week. And then there's social interaction, which is there's no mechanics that could determine success or failure. You're just basically walking through you're either like in conversation, depicting your character in conversation with others, or you're basically plotting and planning with your players and the DM about what your next steps are. That's the social interaction, which doesn't require any dice at all. So the Bastion campaign system provides you mechanical benefits to use in combat through a social interaction system with no success or failure chances. So we're taking both ends of that and we're bringing it into the exploration pillar, where the Bastion is making a series of ability checks to achieve goals. This was the first demonstration I've seen of this in 5e was Adam Hancock's Balduran's Guide to Kingdom Building, which is an excellent book, and he was the editor for the Spelljammer book that we created. So I got to lock step with him for a while about like what was his thought processes that went into the Balduran's Kingdom Builder. So he had framed it around ability checks, and it built different industries that have basically ability scores that you make ability checks, and depending on like how advanced your military is, that's your stat, your military stat, which gives you more bonuses. So you have the ability plus proficiency plus a d20 equals success or failure. He did a really cool project in breaking down how society can work off of these ability checks. So we're building on his shoulders, and hopefully he'll be on board with us to edit this when we get around to it. But this is taking that idea of ability checks and blending it in with the mechanics that are actually in the Bastion system. So instead of having this idea of industries, we're looking at there's 7 different commands that you can issue or orders. There's 7 different types of orders that you can issue to your Bastion, and by converting it into an ability check system that allows us to have successes and failures. So when your Bastion succeeds at its task, you advance whatever that goal is, gaining new territory, expanding your resources, establishing a new trade route, building a settlement that you can now use to farm or mine from for materials to build things with. These successes and failures, if you succeed, you hit the thing, and now you can move on to now that you have your settlement established, you can get into that iron mine, so you can start extracting iron ore, so you always have material on hand when you want to build weapons, like for your army, or as a trade good to be able to build a lifestyle for your Bastion. So you can use these ability checks, and if you fail that die roll, well, something's preventing you from being able to achieve your goal. If you're trying to build a settlement, something is preventing you from building a settlement there. Maybe there's like a clan of hill giants that are occupying the territory that you either need to make peace with or remove before you can get that settlement established. So the Bastion campaign system becomes an adventure generator. Every time you have a complication in something that your Bastion is attempting to achieve, it presents a plot hook for you to then resolve what that problem is, to ground your character into the narrative of actually having leadership of this domain, and the domain, the Bastion, and the Bastion impacting the territory that it's established in. And there's all sorts of different ways, like people are excited about in Spelljammer about the idea of the Spelljammer ship becoming your Bastion. Absolutely, you can do that. Your ship then starts getting, all the space on the ship map starts getting filled up with these different facilities that you can create things, or you have, like, as your downtime task, your ship now has an established trade route between different civilizations in different systems or planes of existence inside the astral sea. It's like when you're not doing anything specifically, you're in trade route working between these to generate the income that allows you to sustain your ship and your crew to be able to craft items and research information for you to then conduct more adventures. Sometimes those adventures are going to be taking care of a problem that your Bastion has. Otherwise, you're just running whatever your campaign is. If you had, like in Curse of Strahd, if you had established a Bastion in one of the towns inside of Curse of Strahd, while you're screwing around with werewolves and vampires and liches and exploring these hell houses, you also are trying to take care of a community, and maybe it's being attacked by werewolves and liches and vampires and monsters that you have to help make sure that the Bastion stays secure. Like you become the mayor of whatever that town is off to the west. But if you became the mayor of that town, now all the problems of that town becomes your Bastion tasks while you're trying to navigate inside of the Curse of Strahd game. So you're operating at 2 levels at the same time. Like every week, something's going on with your Bastion, either improvement or complications that may or may not allow you to continue on with whatever your current quest is inside of Barovia. So that's the idea. You can insert Bastion into any campaign and it becomes a resource. Because of the different types of orders that you can issue, crafting stuff gives you equipment, empowering stuff gives you magic items, harvesting stuff is like a meta task or a meta order that provides the resources you need to craft items and empower magic stuff. There's maintaining like your lifestyle or getting access to different types of creatures and the abilities that they can provide for you, or like specialists that have like sage bonuses and stuff like that. So then there's recruiting, bringing those type of people into the fold. And then a research like contact other plane, legend lore sort of stuff, or spying or exploring, developing magical plans so you can empower your weapons with a specific type of magical enchantment that you researched. And then there's trade, which is establishing a means of getting materials. Like you can either harvest material by developing a settlement that harvests plant, animal, or mineral resources from the environment, or you can establish trade routes that you don't have to have your own settlement, but you're getting these things from different settlements that are already established. And this trade harvest that establishes a pipeline of resources for you to be able to build stuff for your characters, but it also provides a background, so like a default economy that works between maintain, trade, and harvesting to allow you to basically generate by a die roll a level of lifestyle that you maintain for your entire Bastion. As in, it's a profitable place. It's allowing a wealthy lifestyle for everyone that works at your Bastion. Plus, it provides you a wealthy lifestyle whenever you're having downtime activities. So that starts to establish your characters. You're a wealthy adventurer who has a chain of successes that's obviously on the rise of having greater and greater Bastion dominion over the environment around you. You're naturally attracting the attention of people that want to participate with you. So, and then you can invest. So this is all based on resources. You gain resources to increase your rank. Resources are like experience points or like a mana pool that you can spend the resources to trigger orders and to sustain like a concentration spell to maintain facilities in your Bastion that grant you bonuses or give you stuff. And so here's the quick skinny. Before, what we're going to do is we've been going through all of the different facilities that are listed in the DMG, and we're translating them into this ability check system. So we'll continue with that. I just wanted to conclude though that it's been emphasized that D&D is not an economy simulator, and it's not designed to be gamed. So so how we resolve that, like for example, you can see here, like you can enchant magic items. You can use your Bastion to create magic items, scribe scrolls, brew potions, brew poison, healing potions, stuff that your characters are going to want to use during adventuring. Here's the thing: if you can brew potions and make magic items and then sell them, you could like micromanage your economy to game the system so that your character gains wealth and can do things with it. But what we do instead is we dissolve all of that into, like, if your character is capable of overseeing an operation that can make magic items, and they're selling those magic items to generate wealth, that's resolved by maintaining a lifestyle. So you go into maintaining a life, you go into the maintain task, or the maintain order, and then you select the specific ability check for you to maintain a Bastion lifestyle. So this is the die roll that you make, and this is the level of lifestyle that you provide for everybody that's in your Bastion, including your characters, and this is the effective cost per day. So like if you want to maintain an aristocratic lifestyle for like say 300 people in your Bastion, that's 300 gold pieces a day. And if your guild is capable of like say making magic potions or like minor magic items fairly efficiently, that kind of gets absorbed into maintaining your Bastion's lifestyle. If you roll worse on your die roll, it means the economy is difficult right now and you're having to expend more of your goods and services to be able to maintain any kind of lifestyle at all. When you roll high, it means that it's easy for you to profit, so you can have a richer return and your Bastion is more rewarded for it. The higher rank your Bastion, the higher level of lifestyle you can easily maintain. So larger Bastions are wealthier. They provide a higher level of lifestyle, which just creates the narrative frame of you're successful. So you don't, these tasks of creating magic items, this is on the side. Like your Bastion is so profitable, it can afford to take a portion of its resources and workforce away from making money for the Bastion and dedicate it to your side project. So you aren't using these ability checks to mass produce stuff that gets absorbed into the maintain lifestyle role. So what you're doing with these craft magic item rolls is we have spare resources because we're so profitable, or we have a really shitty lifestyle. So we have sacrificed so much from our Bastion to be able to scrape out these resources for you to have a new magic sword or 10 new magic potions or whatever it is that you end up rolling on your empowering checks. So you don't worry about what the economy is. That gets absorbed by maintaining a lifestyle. And the trade routes and the harvesting operations, that's flavor text that just backs up the idea of you maintaining a lifestyle for your Bastion. But you also have to have either a trade route or harvesting operations established to provide the materials for you to make those magic items for your characters. It's all just background radiation and assumes it takes care of itself until your players want something special. And then it's all, do we have the resources? Do we have the material necessary already? Let's establish that we have that in our trade route. Do we have the materials that we need? Can't get it from a trade route. Do we have a harvesting operation that can provide that for us right now? Make the die roll. And if you want to guarantee it's there, you maintain concentration on that by leaving those resources tapped to maintain that trade line or to continue harvesting on a seasonal basis to always have that material coming in to use, whether it's plant, animal, or mineral. So you're either establishing a territory to provide those materials or you're establishing trade to be able to just have them provided off of the magic items or books or potions or ships or weapons that you just produce as part of being your Bastion. So hopefully that all makes sense, because that's all going to be in the book when we publish it, of how to simulate any kind of an economy inside of a settlement or for your Bastion. So like if you go into Waterdeep and you're like, hey, I need to find a magic item, what's the likelihood of me being able to do that? Well, Waterdeep is a metropolis, so it's a 5th rank settlement. So it could have anything up to a legendary magic item if you can find it. So now it becomes a task of, it's out there somewhere. Here's the DCs that you have to hit to be able to find a path that will lead you through an adventure that gets you to the magic item, unless that magic item is way below your level, in which case it's easy for you to find it quickly and it doesn't become a complication at all. You either succeed at it or you fail, which then creates an adventure path for you to succeed at that thing that the die roll just failed. So that's how you take the middle route of having an exploration gear in your game into combat, where your complication becomes combat focused. Now you have new combat challenges against new types of creatures that you get grudges with, or it leads you into an exploration challenge where you have to like break into a facility to get the information that you need, or it shifts gear into a social interaction where you succeeded at the task. Now let's talk about what that does for your Bastion and who's new that you meet that you can start having an introduction with and introduce new NPCs into your campaign, so that the Bastion becomes this anchor point of reality that your character, that the players will suspend more and more disbelief around, because they become a part of building this environment. Like you could take a pub in Waterdeep and make that your Bastion, and you slowly just buy up all the territory around you until you control the entire neighborhood, and then you make like this wine district out of that pub. You now have like a pub crawl thing. So now it's becoming like this 15 tavern chain in the heart of Waterdeep, and that's your property. And oh shit, now the mafia's coming after you. And it just creates this cool spiral that could lead you maybe into the Waterdeep heist adventures, or it could lead you into the Yawning Portal, or maybe you have to establish your own supply chain of peat so that you can peat moss, so you can brew your own whiskey, because that's the level that you've grown to. That takes you into salt marsh, where the swamps are at, where they grow peat. So anyway, there's a lot of different ways you can use Bastion, and with some diligence and game design work here on stream, we're going to build out that book and put it on the DMsGuild for you to reconsider the structure of your campaign and the scope of it, and make it an adventure building the world together with your players. That's one of the things that they wanted to do with Bastion in the DMG, is allow players to get a taste of that DMing feeling. And if you dive into this system of Dominion, your players just naturally start to design the hex crawl around them and the different dungeon territories, and at some point they can just say, hey, I want to run some characters inside of the Dominion that I built. So that's the idea. So we've spent this is our 5th episode, so we've been exploring this idea, and we've got the basic physics of how the ability, the action economy works for the Bastions. The die rolls seem to be working out. We're just using straight from the DMG skill challenge levels from 10 to 30, scaling up from 1 to 5. There's 5 ranks of Bastion. If you're using a character equivalent, it would be level 1, level 5, 9, 13, and 17. That's basically how this stuff scales. And the die rolls that you make, it's your Bastion level, your Bastion rank, plus a die roll. And the die roll is determined by the rank. This is called a proficiency die. It's in the 2014 DMG. It's also what the Essence 20 system uses for G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, Transformers, and Power Rangers. Great system. It's very gear focused though. So it approaches it. It has a scale. I think like Powered by the Apocalypse has shifting die sizes that you use. Essence 20 uses that as well, but we just use a static die system here, where the rank of your guild determines the maximum die roll that you can make, and you spend resources. Like if I want to try to build shoes, then I can, and I'm a first rank Bastion, I can at best roll a d4, and I have to spend a resource to do it. When the task is complete, I get that resource back, and I can spend that resource again to do something else. So I have a floating amount of resources that I'm always have allocated towards a task that could take a day, a week, a season, or a year. So we'll have a Bastion tracking table with the number of orders that you can have operative at once, and how many points you have invested into each. Because like a 5th rank guild could put 5 points into adding a d12 to the die roll, or you could just put 1 point into that die roll and only roll a d4, or you could just not put any points into it at all and just roll a d20 plus 5 and see if you succeed at whatever your task is. So you can see the DCs here are pretty static. We basically scale difficulties on a scale of 1 to 5 from DC 10 to 30 on scales of 5. So if your 5th rank organization is attempting to make a legendary magic item and they're not willing to invest any resources into achieving that goal, they're just going to roll a d20 plus 5, and they will guarantee fail at that task. So they're going to have to invest some resources to get a die roll added onto their Bastion check to guarantee success. Or not guarantee it, but at least have a chance at success. A Bastion, a 5th rank, D20 plus 5 plus D12 at best can roll a 37. 7 to 37. So you have a 5th rank organization investing 5 points of resources into building a legendary magic item only has a 25% chance of succeeding at making that legendary magic item. It might be more efficient for your team to actually research finding one and then going through the adventure to fetch it. So it's your choice how you want to do that. And if you have, like, for example, if you have an artificer on your team, that artificer, all of its abilities allow you to make this die roll very, very easy. So, like, if you have an artificer on your team, you can reliably create magic items equal to the level appropriate for your character group. 9th level plus, rare items, pretty easy for an artificer to achieve. Similarly, at 18th level, 17th level, an artificer, 18th level because of its ability. At 18th level, an artificer can very easily hit a DC 30 on building a legendary magic item. That's their specialty. So the artificer and the bastions go hand in hand with this system, and the subclass and the revisions that we're making to the artificer on our other stream. You can check that out. I do that during weekdays. So we've gone through all the mechanics of how this stuff works. We know the physics of it. That's how the math works. You make the ability check. You either succeed or fail, thus creating a success towards your goal of whatever it is that you're trying to do, or it creates a complication, which becomes an adventuring hook that your characters can pursue. And we'll talk about adventuring hooks versus allowing your bastion to handle it. So now that we have the basic physics of how the world works, I want to take and we've been doing this up to here in the laboratory. This is where we stopped. But we're breaking down what benefits a laboratory provides for you. And we're seeing, do these things already like dissolve into the tasks, into the orders that we already can issue to your bastion? Like, is it covered, or is this offering something unique and different that can then become a facility that you can like maintain concentration on by permanently investing bastion resources into having that be available to you all the time? And is it worth it to do so? So we're looking at, that's what we're doing. So that's the work in progress area here. You can see we broke down the garden and we broke down the greenhouse into like what it provides for you at each of its ranks. And we're then, as we continue through the rest of these, we'll have a stack of basically these things just give you free stuff. Like I have my bastion, spend a week, and at the end of that week, I get a poison, for example, a basic poison or antitoxin. Or I have my bastion, invest a week of activity, and at the back end of it in my greenhouse, I get a more advanced form of poison. Or I get a greater healing potion. Or I get potions of restoration. So like this is a 2nd rank, that's 5th level and above. This garden is available earliest. It's a 1st rank, so you could have this right away. So the pacing of the coin here is basically a 1st rank facility. The free stuff that it gets you is going to fit within that stack of magic items. And there's a coin value associated with each type of magic item, which is 100, 400, 4,000, 40,000, and 200,000, rank 1 to 5. So we're seeing here, as we're breaking down these benefits from these different facilities, we're seeing that they're lining up with this gold cost. The garden, which is a minor version of the greenhouse, like the greenhouse is 2nd rank. It's basically equivalent to uncommon magic items, 400 gold or less. Like you can see a healing potion of 200 gold, and all of the poisons that are inside of here are 400 gold or less. As opposed to the garden, all the things that the garden creates is 100 gold or less. Do you see the pattern? So we're seeing a pattern, but we want to see if it's consistent across the rest of this stuff. So what we're doing right now is breaking down the math of all the items that they're providing to see if they're actually curving out. And if that's the case, we're basically building an inventory list of consistency of like, if you have a garden, if it's consumable and it doesn't cost more than 100 gold, your garden can create it. But you need a 2nd rank garden or greenhouse. A greenhouse is just an indoor garden. There's no difference. It's just it's a different title in the greenhouse, because instead of having a ranked scaling system of like evolving what that facility is, which is what we're looking at, like this would be an evolved harvesting facility that we get higher and higher rank of material that's plant-based. See? So instead of they broke it down into individual pieces, not a scaling system. So we're deconstructing all of these facilities instead of being like, you have to have a laboratory to do this harvest. And that's eating up space. So they're forcing you to minimize the things that you can do with your Bastion. But with the way that we have the ability system set up here, you're just going to pick and choose, appropriate to your character's level, what it is that you want. So you could always have this greenhouse. But like if you don't have space for both a garden and a greenhouse, you lose the garden stuff in preference of the greenhouse stuff. But what if I want the garden stuff and the greenhouse? That's going to eat up 2 spaces of my facility. Whereas in this Bastion campaign system, I just simply invest resources into harvesting. And now that I did that, I can also tap and reserve. Like I can always produce this list of stuff, just depending on how much resources I invest into it is the amount that I can automatically produce. If I only invest 1 resource to always have access to my garden, I could still make an ability check to see if I'm also able to squeeze one of these things out, but it's now an ability check that could create a complication. I could instead permanently invest 2 points into sustaining the greenhouse at 2nd rank and always have available either one of these resources without having to make an ability check. But maybe there's something cool that we find in the laboratory that we could harvest, like a super special poison that's 3rd rank. And now I'm going to have to make an ability check to make that super cool shit. Or I can invest a 3rd point. But I'm going to have to be 3rd rank as a Bastion to be able to invest that point. So now I need to increase my Bastion rank so I can always make that super cool thing. In the meantime, maybe I can make it. I'm only going to have a D6 to add to it, and it's going to be like a D20, so I've got like maybe a 50-50 chance of succeeding at it, and if I don't, I'll get it eventually, but it creates an adventure hook that I need to resolve to do so. So that's how the system works. So we're just looking to see how the scaffolding lays out, and is it consistently true? Can we see the pattern to build and then create different paths, like different ladders of like, harvest plant stuff does this, harvest animal stuff does this, harvest mineral stuff does this on a scale of 1 to 5, and then all of these facilities get dissolved into those 3 pathways that you can invest into harvesting or trading to gain access to on the fly. See how that works? So there you go. If you're interested in this stuff, or you have questions about it, or you want to actually implement it in your games to see how it plays as playtesting, I'll give you credit and a free use of the book if you start providing consistent information to me. And here's access to my Discord channel that you can dive into. So just let me know if you get on the roster of playtesters on any of the stuff that I do. All my playtesters get free books, and big appreciation for me for helping me achieve the goal. And your feedback will be valued, though not necessarily incorporated. So it's just you giving me feedback about your experience, which lets me know that if you have complications in running it, either I need to do a better job of explaining it or figure out a way to simplify it so I don't have to explain as much. So that's the purpose of playtesting. And to make sure it's fun. Is it fun? Is it easy to use? And if the answer on either one of those is no, figure it out. And it's not easy to use because it's either not being described correctly or it's too complicated and needs to be simplified. Those are basically your options. So, and in that simplification, it could become fun. But like the Bastion system as presented in the DMG, in my humble opinion, is too simple. It's not fun because there's no game involved, because you play a game because it's fun. And if there's no game to play, you're reading a novel, or you're being told a story, or you're just playing make-believe, and you don't actually have anything that you're gaming. You're just playing cops and robbers, right? Cops and robbers is like, Bane, you're dead. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Well, shit, how do we know who's right? That's where the die roll comes in. The die roll determines who actually shot who, right? So once you start gamifying Bane, you're dead, then it becomes more fun. It's no longer a game of imagination. It is now an actual game, like Risk or clue that you're defeating an enemy or you're solving a mystery. And then the social interaction just becomes the narrative that you're wrapping the mechanics, wrapping around the mechanics. So, but that's how role-playing games work, and you probably understand that if you're interested in this channel. So you are my people. So here we go. We're getting to work. Now that I've gone through all of that intro, that only took me 40 minutes this time. I'm doing better, but that's where my thoughts are at with it right now. So we're going to continue forward. We've got a good solid 2 hours to start messing around with stuff. So let's see. I think I need to zoom in a little bit more because I don't see so good. So here we go, laboratory. This will be much easier for me to read. And we can reduce the footprint of that. There we go. So let's see. We don't worry about hirelings. We don't care about the space because that just becomes narrative. A laboratory contains storage space for alchemical supplies and workspaces for crafting various concoctions. Craft options. When you issue the craft order to this facility, choose one of the following options. See, the craft order doesn't require a die roll in the DMG system. It's just you say do this thing and it does it. So that's essentially the same as reserving resources to have this thing available to you whenever you need it. Which is alchemical supplies. Facility hirelings craft anything that can be made with an alchemist supplies using the rules in the player's handbook in chapter 7. Let's go. We'll look at the alchemist supplies real quick to see what they are. Acid. So let's open up acid. We'll open up alchemist fire. We'll open up component pouch, oil, paper, and perfume. So those are the items that the laboratory can make. So let's grab this real quick. This will be laboratory. Let's see, alchemist, alchemist's supplies. Acid is 25 gold. Alchemist fire is 50. Component pouch is 25. Oil is 1. Paper is 2 silver, and perfume is 5. So, alchemist supplies. Create any... What's the wording? Wording's important. Anything using alchemist supplies. Alchemist says, create anything listed in the alchemist supplies list of equipment. Anything up to 100 gold piece in cost using oil is coming from animals or plants. Yeah, let's go through that. Perfume is coming from animals and plants. Paper is coming from plants. It could be vellum, which could also be animals. Oil comes from animals and plants. Components pouch is generally animals or plants. Alchemical fire could be mineral. It could be animal and it could be plant, but it could also be mineral. Acid is probably going to be mineral. Alchemist supplies themselves is probably all three. So looks like this would be harvesting. Yep, this is a harvesting as well. Garden, first rank harvest. Greenhouse is second rank harvest. Laboratory is, so far, it's first rank harvest. Yeah, everything in here is first rank harvest. Here's second rank harvest. So far, first rank harvest is alchemical supplies. And then let's see what poison is. You commission the facility's hirelings to craft a vial containing one application of a poison. The poison must be one of the following: burnt, ether, essence, torpor. That is 500 gold. Holy Hannah. Okay. 300 gold and 600 gold. A creature subjected to torpor poison must succeed a DC 15 or have poison effect for 46 hours. Creature's speed is halved while the creature is poisoned this way. Okay. Technically, hold on. Let's double check. Hold on. Let's go up to the greenhouse again real quick, and let's double check the price points on these. Assassin's Blood, Malice, Pale Tincture, True Serum. 150, 250, 250, 150. Okay, well, this does push into tier 3. So that is what we were trying to find out. The laboratory does push into 3rd tier. So observatory, laboratory. Too far, Kearney. That's what we were looking for. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. So let's peel this open here real quick. That's over. So that's burnt ether flames, poison, burnt ether flames, 500 GP. Essence of ether. Of ether. $300 GP. And torpor. 600. See how that is? See how that is? $100. So the way that the DMG has it set up is that that is too loud, Kearney. Fix your volume. Hold on. Fix your volume. There. Whatever. There we go. Get rid of torpor. So the laboratory does first, second, and third. Like you really, if you want a laboratory, you really are going to want to have alchemist supplies or poison. Otherwise, this is a waste of space. What tier is the laboratory? Level 9. See how that works out? Level 9, 3rd tier, because it can create that level of poison. This is remaining consistent. But the idea of having to have a laboratory, a greenhouse, and a garden available to have all 3 tiers of this material available, that's like your Bastion only has, at 3rd tier, you only have 4 Bastions. This is eating up 3 of them just to make a couple types of poison and some like some alchemical supply stuff. Like, it is really hamstringing what your Bastion can actually do. The way that the DMG works is that each character has its own Bastion, and you can see how this is set up. You really need that. Like, I'm the poison guy. All I can do with my Bastion is make these poisons and alchemical stuff. Like, that's my jam. We better really fucking lean into that style of play. Otherwise, this is a complete waste of time for me. But we can instead, at third rank, we've got 4. We can invest in more, but we have a total default of 4 tasks that we can provide at any time. Cool. This week, make Burnt Oathor, and next week we'll make some Fruit of Restoration. And the week after that, maybe we'll make some antitoxins, whatever it is that you need to do, whatever it is that you want to bring along in your adventure. It just becomes one task that you can, of many. Like, all I want to do is produce poisons this week. Well, you've got 4 tasks that you can default perform. Cool. Let's make 4 doses of Burnt Oathor instead of just 1. That, like, 1 resource, or in this case, 3 resources, but 1 die roll, 1 order will get me 4 doses of this poison, as opposed to the DMG. I would need to have 1 order for 1 dose. And if I want to do any of these at any time, I would have to have 3. I basically have to tie up 3 of my 4 options to do so. So we're just creating a more fluid liquid system with more opportunities for you to engage with. This is this kind of, I'm not to punch up too much, but if you're gonna punch, you should punch up. It's that I just feel the system is underbaked. I feel like they could have done a lot more with this if they had had more time to develop it. I feel like maybe they would have found something similar to this pathway that we're on. It's so obvious that it creates additional depth of play, which is great for a book, but not for virtual tabletop. I'm under the strong opinion that they are curving D&D under WotC's leadership into a game engine that has drop-down menus like Baldur's Gate. I think that is their end goal, to have everybody entering their 3D environment as though we were all playing. Damn it! I can't think of the name of that board game that has all the dungeons set up. I can't believe I've forgotten the name of that. It's on Steam. But that plus Baldur's Gate equals, I think, what D&D wants to, what Hasbro wants WotC to make. So, and while Hasbro owns WotC, that's where we're being driven to. It's disintegrating the creative storytelling aspect of it, and it's dropping you into these rails that your characters run down like you're on a roller coaster. And the only real game experience you're having is at what turn and loop does your character scream or throw their hands up in the air. It's different. It's not empowering. It's you're observing the campaign playing out, as opposed to the older style of play, which is you're creating the world with the players. So they say that they want you to explore and build in this world, but the content that they build is very much passive. So there's a disconnect in the advertising and the product that I'm attempting to resolve here and put through the DMsGuild as basically paying tribute, because I wouldn't need to do these things if WotC ran the game the way that I would want them to. Since I'm shit talking them, I'm giving them the opportunity to have a piece of the profit by putting it on the DMsGuild. So that's the idea that goes on there. I'll eventually shift away from this, taking all these ideas and make my own role-playing game that maybe people will ignore, but it'll be 100% compatible with all these different ideas that I've been building, so that you'll be able to, if you like that style of play, you can click into these other ideas I'll be kickstarting. So right now, all of these core ideas, these building blocks that we're working with, I'm putting them on the DMsGuild because they're all being inspired by the books that WotC produced, or the IPs like Spelljammer and Magic the Gathering that WotC owns. I think it's respectful and correct behavior for me to take these building blocks and basically first alpha draft these test models into the DMsGuild, where I'm basically paying tribute and homage to what was inspiring them in the first place. Once I have all those ideas out of my system and I'm moving beyond the ideas that are inside the D&D campaign and settings that I like, that opens the door for me to be able to do my own Kickstarters for my own independent ideas that can evolve outside of the scope of the D&D IPs. So that's my path of greatness anyway. But yeah, Laboratory worked out. So now let's look at library. Let's see, level 5, sure. The library contains a collection of books plus one or more desks and reading chairs. Research, topical lore. When you issue the research order to this facility, you commission the facility's hirelings to research a topic. The topic can be a legend, a known event, or a location, a person of significance. Basically, a target of a legend lore spell. The work takes 7 days. When the research concludes, the hireling obtains up to 3 accurate pieces of information about the topic that were previously unknown to you and shares this knowledge with you. Next time to speak with them, the DM determines what information you learn. That's the research check. And so I think what I should probably do is take, here it is, historical lore. Depending on the die roll that you get, this is the number of questions that you have answered. Here's your die roll here. Research. Yeah, I like this scale better. So let's go with this one. This goes from 5 to 35. Answers 1 to 5. 1 to 7. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. So if you roll a 3, so this would be library, for instance. I now realize that we could deconstruct all of this stuff. Dismiss. Let's scroll out for a second. Laboratory can be harvest. No, it's not an actual skill check that we're making there. It's just making stuff. Guild hall. What did the guild hall do for us? Oh yeah, that's right. We already have that covered. Greenhouse, garden, we have those covered. Gaming hall, that was the main. No, that was the trade. And what is that? Gaming hall. Let's gaming hall. And before that was demiplane, which we have down below. How did we miss barracks? Armory? Oh no, barracks and barracks is the recruiting action. That's right. Research. Barracks. And harvest. There we go. And armory is craft. Tools of war. Shit, I gotta go back through these real quick. Arcane study. Bastion, you make a magical charm. Craft under this facility, choose the following options. Craft arcane focus. Facilities hireling, craft a blank book. Costs you 10 GP. Magic item, arcana. This is where this happened. So arcane study. That's okay. That's where empower came from. Arcane study. And archive. Let's double check that real quick. Research, 7 days. Legend lore spell. Research. Down here, that is archive. Recruit, research. Archive. Library. Archive and library. Very good. Double check barracks real quick. Armory was making shit. Yep, and we scaled that out under Tools of War already. And barracks. Bastion defenders. Enlarging. Each time you issue the recruit order. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, barracks was standing army. So let's go down to barracks. Recruit standing army, barracks. There. Okay, we're caught up. And then demi-plane, right? Gaming hall, blah, 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 blah. There we are. Okay, we're back to base. The library contains a bunch of stuff, research, significant object, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay, so we got past that. Meditation Chamber is 4th rank. Meditation Chamber is a relaxing space that helps align one's mind, body, and spirit. Empower inner peace. When you issue the Empower order to this facility, your Bastion hirelings can use the Meditation Chamber to gain a measure of inner peace. The next time you roll for a Bastion event, you can roll twice and choose either result. Next time you roll for a Bastion event, you can roll twice. Right. A Bastion event is basically a once per week random roll that basically covers the idea of complications. The complications idea that we have of failing a die roll equals something interesting. Instead, this is each week you just have a die roll, and it'll either be a wheel or a woe, something good or something bad. Adjust as you please, and it could become an encounter, a combat encounter. It could become an exploration encounter, or it could become a social interaction. But it's just a single die roll, and this is just allowing you to basically pick between them, so you have a little bit more fluidity. The complication system that we're using will probably be able to incorporate the Bastion events. So we're probably gonna want to have a table down here. Settlement. We'll go with Bastion events. And we'll get back to this point at some time, but not until we get done with all the facilities. But I am going to make a note down here: Meditation Chamber, roll twice. But we're not going to be using Bastion events, but this is what the Meditation Chamber does for us so far. We already have a system in place that allows you, like, if you want to spend 2 resources, like if you want to double down, like double your resource spend, then you can roll 2 dice. Hey, what's up, Steve? Look at him. So yeah, like if you're a first rank Bastion and like you want to maintain lifestyle, you could choose to spend. It'll cost you 1 action, but you could choose to spend 0 resources on it, which would be a D20 plus 1. And since we're talking about, I'll just scroll up here. How you doing today? So we go up to the action, which is maintain, and which is Bastion lifestyle. So a first rank. So here's your DC range, and a first rank Bastion has a D20 plus 1 die roll. If you choose not to spend it, and you can have up to 4 resources. Once you get to 4 resources, you're a second rank Bastion. So 1 point, 2 point, 3 points of resources, your first rank, and as soon as you acquire 4th, you're now a second rank, and you can have a higher rank. A first rank guild rolls a first rank Bastion has a D4 die roll. If I spend 1 point, I can add a D4 to that D20 plus 1 to see what level of lifestyle I maintain for my Bastion for however long it is, either a week, a season, or a year, depending on the level of my guild. A first rank guild. A first rank Bastion, sorry, I keep using guilds because of the guilds and kingdom system this was born from. So a first rank Bastion makes a weekly roll. I'd roll a D20 plus 1, and if I don't invest any resources into it, I get that result. As long as I roll a 10 or a better, if I roll below 10, I'm basically making a death saving throw. If I have 3 failed death saving throws, basically in a row, my Bastion dissolves. It's no longer, I can't maintain it. It just dies. So as you gain higher levels, it gets easier and easier for you to hit at least a 10. A 5th rank Bastion can roll a d20 plus 5, so you have a high chance of succeeding at least 1 out of 3. But you can invest 1 point of resources. A first rank Bastion could put 1 point and roll a d4 and add that to the result. I could spend 2 points and roll 2 4-sided die and keep the best result. So this is kind of overriding that need, because you can just automatically do this. You don't need a meditation to do that. It's just a base mechanic of how you spend resources. A 5th rank Bastion could roll a d12 if you spend 5 points and add that to your result. I could spend 10 points and roll twice 2 12-sided dice and keep the best result. But that would only count as 1 order. But I'm spending I'm spending 10 resources on 1 order to make sure I hit that maintain lifestyle at whatever level I need, right? So, but a first rank guild, a first rank Bastion would be able to issue an order, and I could spend 1 point for the D4. Obviously, I have at most 3 resources because I'm a first rank Bastion. If I had 4, I'd be second rank. So, but that 5th rank guild could spend 1 point to roll a d4. It could spend 2 points to roll a d4. It could spend 1 point to roll a d4, and then 5 points on top of it to roll a d12. So I didn't roll a d4 and a d12 and keep the best result. It's up to me. At some point, like if all I need, like if I know I'm going to hit the number, if I roll a d4 plus my 5 plus a d20, I'm going to be able to automatically maintain a modest lifestyle for my guild. So if I say put 2 or 3 points into it, I wouldn't have to, I could roll a d6 or a d8, or I could roll 3 4-sided dice and pretty much guarantee that I'm going to hit the number that I need. So you can game that. You can play the odds yourself that way and establish and you could also like permanently spend 3 points and just maintain that poor lifestyle without ever having to roll again. So you have those options. So and we have that all in here and for you guys to play out. But that's how you can abuse or use or gamify or optimize your resources to guarantee that you're hitting the things that you want. Like if you want to guarantee you make that magical plate mail without any kind of complications like flaws or like curses, then maybe you need to spend 3 times the resources to make sure you can roll that die 3 times to be able to hit the number that you need, depending on the level of your guild. Bastion. So that's the idea. So ultimately, we're going to dissolve the idea of what the meditation chamber does. But for the time being, we're just going to make a note that, hey, this is where that idea came from, so that when we go through the book and we're talking about here's how to convert the Bastion system in the DMG into a Bastion campaign, we can make reference to like this is where we got that piece from, and this is how we changed it. So it's like meditation chamber variant rule. You can just always spend extra resources to re-roll your die. You don't have to meditate on it first. You just do it. So we dissolve the need for the meditation chamber. But the meditation chamber has something else that it does, which is fortify self. So you can meditate, and again, this is a 4th rank. Level 13 is 4th rank. 4th level spells for a paladin or an artificer equals 4th rank as a Bastion. So fortify self, you can meditate in the facility over a period of 7 days. If you leave the Bastion during this time, you gain no benefit. Otherwise, at the end of the 7th day, you gain advantage on 2 kinds of saving throws for 7 days. Determined randomly by rolling on a table below, re-roll if you get a duplicate result. D6, re-roll. Huh. Okay, what do I want to do with that? This feels like an empowering action. Yep, empower. There it is. So let's go up to all the list of resources of stuff that we haven't parsed out yet, which is the work in progress facilities. So we'll just drop down here. Bleep. Laboratory, 3rd rank, maintain. Hold on. Specialists. Maintain 2nd rank. Guild is maintained to have specialists in creating one type of group of items, reducing the production time of items with DC equal to the rank. Oh, this is what this is reducing time frames with specialists. So let's extract that, because this is, I'm actually really happy with that. Wait, hold on. All of this I'm pretty happy with. I don't need to have that in the works in progress. I'm actually content with it. So let's go down to our facilities and drop down to maintain. Maintain lifestyle, diverse workforce, efficient operations, settlements, and this is franchise. Oh, that's what we were doing. Guilds. How much can I craft? Gold per day. No, I'm wrong. This is still experimental. This is something. This is what the guild hall gave us. Got lost in the sauce there for a second. Greenhouse. Guilds. Second rank. That's right. 2nd rank, maintain. That's where that was. Got lost for a second there. We're back on track. Yeah. Okay. Library. Meditation chamber. That's where we're at. Meditation chamber. Fourth rank. Empower. Spend 1 week. Spend 1 week to gain 2 random ability to gain advantage on 2 ability saving on 2 saving throws on 2 saving throws for 1 week. And 2 random saving throws for 1 week. Roll stat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. STR, DX, CON, WIS, INT, CHA. There. I don't know what to do with this yet. It's 4th rank, so it would require 4. You would have to have 4 points, basically permanently invested to maintain this facility, to grant characters that participate with it that ability. But they would have to show up, or we would make it an ability check. If we made an ability check, it would be a bonus to the saving throw equal to the scale that you achieved, 1 to 5, 10 to 30. And at 4th level, that wouldn't be horrible, but I don't like it. It's disadvantage. So how do we set that up? Is that something that we would keep? That starts to open up the idea of modifying what your character can do. Maybe instead of advantage, it could grant proficiency in an ability, a saving throw, or if you have ability in that saving throw already, it gives you advantage on the save. I like that. I I'm okay with that being 13th level. That feels appropriate because there are class features like I think the monk clicks in at level 16 that like you gain advantage or you gain proficiency in all saving throws. Spend 1 week to gain advantage on 2 random saving throws for 1 week. I think what we might be able to do here is No, you know what? Honestly, I might be okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. Might let's see. Gain proficiency or advantage in a saving throw. In 2 saving throws. There we go. Let's see. Week, season, year. Default lasts a week. If we up the intensity, it would be a season and then a year. Would we do it that way, or would it be if we invest more points, we can provide those bonuses for more characters? These resources are these facilities are designed essentially to give our characters default benefits. So once you have it locked in, it's just something you gain. So and you have to keep your point. You have to basically lock the resources. You have to lock in 4 resources to make this chamber active. And it's 4th rank, so you would have up to 24 points before you evolve into until you grow into a 5th rank Bastion. And so of the 24 point, like you'd have 16 to 24 points, right? So you either have 4, 5, or 6 4th rank facilities that you can maintain and eat up all of your resources. Obviously, you can leave those resources free to make die rolls up above and add dice to them, or you can literally tie up all of your points in just providing your team steady options, like creating gear, or this is apparently is a buffing effect that we're looking at. I think as we go through, I think there's things like grant us skills and feats as well, or maybe weapon masteries. So what we might be seeing here is a system of expending resources to permanently turn on buff effects onto your character. I'm not opposed to that, because that basically replaces a magic item, like a Cloak of Protection, for example, grants bonuses to armor class, to saving throws. I'm not opposed to this lying alongside that. And it's not easy for characters to get proficiencies in saving throws. And the way that I run concentration on characters is you have to make saving throws, and you measure the saving throw against your concentration DC every time you make a saving throw. So if you have a character that has a total dump stat in dexterity, it would be worth it to them to potentially have this active so that they can get dexterity as something they're proficient with. And then you could double down on it, have it again, and get advantage to it. So like you can go from not having dexterity saving throws at all into permanently investing these 4 points of resources from your Bastion to occasionally having to go back to recharge it. But while it's active, you would have advantage on dexterity as opposed to no dexterity at all. I kind of like that. I kind of like that, because that's like your DM doesn't have to provide as much magic items if you're implementing something like this. So then you could have more of your treasure that you gain go into giving your characters more resources as a sort of reverse means of, I gave you more resources, now you can have more buff powers active on your character at a time. I'm kind of liking this. So yeah, let's leave that be for now. I'm happy with that. I'm hoping that like training facilities and stuff like that, we'll see like at 2nd rank, for 2 resources, you gain a feat. Like for 1st rank, you gain an extra skill. Skill, feat. We're seeing a saving throw with 4. So we would have to see something like, I could see 2nd rank being like 1st rank being weapon masteries. I don't know what 3rd would be. Maybe there's something in here that'd be 3rd. But I'm seeing that 1st, 2nd, and 4th rank. Skill, feat, saving throw. I honestly don't know what's between a feat and a saving throw yet. I don't know. I think there's something there, but I don't know what it is yet. Menagerie. A menagerie has enclosed both has enclosures big enough to contain imprisoned creatures. To hold 4 small or medium-sized creatures or 1 large-sized creature. 4. Okay, so got it. When you issue the recruit order to this facility, you commission the facility's hirelings to add a creature from the menagerie creature table to your menagerie. The recruitment takes 7 days and costs you the amount listed on the table. Creatures in your menagerie count as Bastion defenders. Deduct any you lose from your Bastion defenders roster. You can choose not to count 1 or more of these creatures as Bastion defenders, in which case they can't be called on to defend. Instead, they act in accordance with their nature to use their stat blocks. Ooh, there's a cost scale here. Okay, we already have this under specialists and creatures, but this is menagerie. So let's go down into our facilities and see where menagerie is at. Hold on. Maintain lifestyle, diverse workforce, efficient operations, settlement, franchise, governorship. Oh, here it is, recruit. No, where is it? Oh, it's up here. It's a recruit action. Commission specialists, which could be a monster of a CR up to the rank that you're spending. So once you get one, you can invest it. That makes sense. Barracks, menagerie. Okay, so once you, okay, so like if I spend, here's the DC, and so if I'm a 4th rank, if I'm a 1st rank guild, it's impossible, Bastion, it's impossible for me to hit a DC 30, because I only have a D20 plus a D4 plus 1, but I can get up to 25. So if I rolled a 25 and I used the recruit action to commission a specialist, I could attract up to a CR 13 creature. But I can't reserve its services because it so vastly outranks me. It's probably going to turn on me and eat my Bastion. That's a risk. But if I was a 4th rank Bastion and I recruited a 4th rank monster, which could be up as CR 13, I could lock in 4 points to keep that monster as a minion or as a Bastion defender. So the menagerie and barracks is basically recruiting an army or like a fighting force, which we have a standing army down below. But this menagerie is basically the act of recruiting them. And then I think we have maintain lifestyle, diverse workforce, choose an order, gains proficiency or expertise in that order. Library, meditation chamber. Yeah, this is essentially where meditation chamber came from as well. And then efficient operations, you can add an additional order. Whether you add a die or not is up to you. Settlements, franchise, governorship, standing army, which came from barracks. And then we need, recruit. Wrong one. Shit. Let's go back up. Sorry. Let's go into recruit. Commission specialist. There we go. Fetch this. Standing army. We're going to call this powerful ally. So we'll go down to facilities. And we go down to maintain lifestyle, settlement, franchise, governorship, standing army. let's see. We'll call this specialist retainer. You, when you successfully recruit a specialist or monster, you can invest a number of Bastion points of resource. You can invest a number of resources equal to that creature's rank to retain their services at your Bastion indefinitely. So you originally recruit them to get them on board to help you with a specific task that you need to achieve. Once you have them there, you can then use those points that you spent to lock them in to stay there as a retainer to become part of your Bastion. So obviously, if you take them out to adventure and stuff, these become basically sidekicks. And they have so we use the sidekick rules. Like if you have a dragon come along with you, then that dragon is basically reduced to whatever the sidekick level would be appropriate for your characters. Otherwise, it over-levels you, and it refuses to help. Otherwise, it stays on hand, and if something attacks your Bastion, you've got this monster that you can use to defend your Bastion. Super fun stuff. You can now build your own dungeon as your Bastion by recruiting monsters to occupy the dungeon to defend it from enemies. So you can, if you really want your characters to take on a piece of role-playing or take on a task of DMs, they could create their own dungeon, populate with monsters, and then have new characters, including the DM, go in and fight those monsters if you wanted to. If you wanted to. But that takes care of Menagerie, so that's cool. Let's do a comparison though real quick to see how they're scaling costs. 500 gold piece, that's second rank. Second rank, this is first rank. So let's see a constrictor snake. If it's let's open that one, and the hyena and a jackal. If everything goes according to plan, and panther, these should all be CR1 or less creatures. CR1 fourth, CR0, CR0. CR1 fourth, cool. And the 1,000 gold piece maintenance cost, if all goes according to plan. 500. Yeah. If it's 100, 400, 4,000. So 100, 400, up to 1, up to 5, no, up to 4. Hold on, we just saw that. What's our scale? 159. So this 1,000 gold piece maintenance cost for the bear. We have a black bear. There's no way these are CR9. 2. Let's just see how this stuff scales out. This all sits inside the 4,000 gold range. Owlbear, the most expensive one of all. Ooh, let's look at Panther real quick. Panther. Right. CR 1/4, so it's a first rank creature, but it falls into the uncommon cost range. How about the rest of these? Brown bear, CR 1/2, CR1, CR1, CR1. That is not a giant vulture, thank you. CR1. Thank you, Timely Timer. CR1. Owlbear, CR what, 3? Yeah, call it that one. And CR1. Let's take a quick look at the Druid and its wild shaping abilities. The powers of nature, known form. Addition, known forms. You know 4 beast forms. Maximum challenge rating of 1/4. You reach certain levels, you adopt higher level forms. Max CR. Level 8 is CR1. Level 8, it's 1 to 4, 5 to 8. So level 8 would be second rank. Second rank would allow for above CR1 creatures. Okay, there is no correlation there. Menagerie covers the base, but there is no set scale that we're looking at here. Like the gold piece cost. What does that cost? Is it like per week? 7 days. And none of these are, most of these are first rank and the second rank. Yeah, I don't think the cost correlates. So if you have these, they just get subsumed into the lifestyle Bastion rolls that you make each cycle. Oh, here we go. Creature cost by challenge rating. When the DM, with the DM, you can add different creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's third rank, third rank, third rank. These price points are all, that's common. This and this. This is common, uncommon, rare, 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 and then it caps out. Or first rank, second rank, third rank. We're scaling it harder, faster, but I'm okay with that. So let's go with the observatory. I don't think I have anything else there. I'm happy with the progression that we have. So observatory, 13th. This is a 4th rank. Ability to use a spellcasting focus. The power action situated atop your bastion. Your observatory contains a telescope aimed at the night sky. Observatory charm. You can use your observatory to peer into the far corners of wild space and the astral plane. I love that this exists. You can use your observatory because Topola has one of these in Light of Xeraxis. She has a floating tower, which apparently they've made into a bastion. That's fucking great. You can use your observatory to peer into the far corners of wild space and the astral plane. After spending a long rest in your observatory, you gain a magical charm. That lasts 7 days or until you use it. The charm allows you to cast Contact Other Plane without expending a spell slot. You can't gain this charm again while you still have it. Eldritch Discovery. You can issue the Empower Order of this facility to you enable yourself or the facility hirelings to explore the Eldritch Mysteries of the Stars for 7 consecutive nights. At the end of the time, roll a die. If the number rolled is even, nothing is gained. If the number is odd, an unknown power bestows one of the following charms on you or another creature of your choice that is of the same plane of existence as you. Dark Vision, Heroism, Vitality. This might actually be my 3rd rank answer. I love this though. What a flavor text. Of wild space. Open that link. And astral plane after spending a long rest. Huh. Well, what does it say? Cosmology. Open the astral plane. Quarks in the ocean. material plane. I'm pleased that they're investing time talking about the astral sea and wild space. That pleases me immensely. As an astral traveler approaching a wild space system, the silvery fog of the astral plane gradually thins until it fades away in the wild space, falls away in wild space. Then the sun and the objects in the wild space system come into view, once often millions of miles away, along with colorful gas clouds, planets, moons, and other cosmic bodies. Wild space system teems with space-dwelling life forms, including spores, plankton, large creatures that resemble fish and aquatic mammals. Creatures and objects in wild space age normally and exist in both the astral plane and material plane simultaneously. This overlap enables creatures to use spells such as teleport to travel from wild space to nearby worlds or vice versa. A creature or ship traveling from one wild space system to another must cross the astral plane unless it has some other magical means of traveling from one world to another. Cool. Astral plane, navigating the astral plane, traveling, this movement, blah, blah, blah. The gods, blah. Cool. Okay, great. I'm happy. Observatory, let's see. You gain a magical charm. Allows you to cast contact other plane. So I guess let's go down to research. Oracle gains the benefit of a legend lore or commune spell every week. That would be archive and observatory. And then we have the charm. And then go up here. B. Observatory. 4th rank. Empower. Gain a charm for 7. Spend 7 days, get a charm. Spend 7 days, get a charm for 7 days. And that's Dark Vision, Charm of Heroism, and Charm of Vitality. The Contact Other Plane. What is Contact Other Plane? I forget what level spell that is. 5e. Contact. Thank you. 5th level. That's 9. Technically. Oh, wait. 3rd rank. Empower. Contact other plane. Once per week. Does that line up with the oracle that we have down here already? Is that? Oh, I think I have it listed as research, right? Is there an oracle? No. Oh, wait a second. Legend lore. 5e legend lore. I think that's a 6th level spell. It's 5th. So that's 3rd rank. Perfect. Yep, cool with that. So let's look at what these Eldritch Discoveries are. Charms. This is under rewards, supernatural gifts.
Charms can be received in many ways. For example, a wizard who finds
How did I end up down here? Charms. There we go. Charms can be received in many different ways. For example, a wizard who finds an eldritch secret or a dead archmage's spellbook might be infused with the magic of a charm, as might a character who solves a sphinx's riddle or drinks from a magical fountain. Mythic creatures sometimes grace their allies with charms, and some explorers find themselves burying a charm after discovering a long-lost location drenched in primeval magic. Some charms can be used only once, others can be used a specific number of times before vanishing. If a charm lets a character cast a spell, the character can do so without expending a spell slot or providing any spell components unless otherwise stated. The spell uses its normal casting time, range, and duration. If the spell requires concentration, the character must concentrate. A charm can't be removed from a creature by anything short of divine intervention or a wish spell. A character can't benefit from multiple instances of a charm at the same time. A typical charm mimics the effects of a potion or spell, so it is easy to create more charms on your own. Nip, nip, nip. Let's see, Dark Vision. To cast Dark Vision, use 3 times, the charm vanishes. What else did we get? Heroism. Potion of Heroism as a magic action. The charm vanishes from you. And what was the other one? Okay, so we have that. Already have that resolved. Charm. Dark Vision. Heroism. Once. 3 times. And Vitality. Is a potion of vitality. Cool, we have those. Now let's see what the potion of heroism does. When you drink this potion, you gain 10 temporary hit points for that last 1 hour. For the same duration, you are under the effect of the Bless spell. For 1 hour. Plus first level Bless. Potion of... Ooh, and this is marked as... Oh wait, was that the potion of heroism? My bad. And they call that a rare item, huh? Sure. So rare is third rank. Common, uncommon, rare. And, God, what a crap effect. 10 temporary hit points. And Bless Spell. No concentration required. Dark Vision. Second level. 8 hours. Dark Vision times 3. That's a second level spell. And second level equals uncommon. Yeah. And then Potion of Vitality. The benefits of a Potion of Vitality. Once. Potion of Vitality is rare. Equals any exhaustion levels that you have. All exhaustion. That actually feels worth it. Remove all exhaustion, poison. Um, 24 hours equals max roll all hit dice, and the potion comes in liquid. That's that feels kind of second 30. The exhaustion, that I think that's a restoration, isn't it? Hold on. 5e greater. No. 5e greater rest. Thank you. 5th level spell. That's 9th level. That's 3rd rank. Charmed, petrified. Remove attunement. One effect, reducing target's hit points. Ability scores. Fine. What about just restoration? 5e restore. Lesser restoration. Lesser restoration. Wait. 5e. Lesser restoration. There we go. Does this now remove all exhaustion? No. Oh, wow. There is no easy way to remove exhaustion. That is interesting. I don't know what it is. I would have assumed that some sort of restoration spell would have resolved that. Maybe there's another spell that resolves exhaustion someplace else. But for as it sits right now, that's not bad. You get one per week. You have to spend a charm. Spend 7 days, get a charm for 7 days. So this is 3rd rank stuff here. That is a 3rd rank empowerment thing. I was looking for something that it would be like, how do we get 3rd rank? And it looks like these charms are it. So I don't know about that bless spell. That feels more like 1st rank to me. I know they call it rare. That feels kind of like a jet. 3rd rank empower. 2nd rank empower. There you go. That means that fills that gap. So we're going to have skills, feats, charms, and saving throw adjustments. So all those things exist currently. So this is currently curving out. So we'll skip past this. We got done with observations. We got done with meditation chamber. That was the observatory. And that's an empowerment action. The observatory is a flavor text that goes with it. That's what I see. Being able to view The Astral Seer Wild Space, that's effectively you casting contact other plane or legend lore, targeting that specific location that you're observing. I see how that is. I like that. It's like a multiplanar scry spell. That's super cool. Next, pub. 4th rank. Okay, what do you do? Research. Folks come here to consume tasty beverages. Your pub might be a bar, blah, blah, blah. Bartender, maintain. Research, information gathering. When you issue the research order to this facility, you commission the pub's bartender to gather information from spies who are aware of all important events happening within 10 miles of you and the Bastion over the next 7 days. During that time, the spies can divulge the location of any creatures it's familiar with, provided the creature is within 50 miles of your Bastion and not hidden by magic, confined by a location that the DM deems between is beyond the spy network's ability to locate. If the spies learn the target's location, they can also learn where that creature has been for the past 7 days. So, information gathering, that's the pub, and that is the gather information spy action. So we'll go through pub and get that in place. Archive, library, pub. And then we have pub special. It has 1 magical beverage on tap. Choose from the options below. At the start of a Bastion turn, you can switch to one or other option. Your DM may create new options. A pint of this magical beverage loses its magic 24 after it's poured. Enlarging the facility lets you do more shit. So, pub. We're going to drop this into Empower. No, Harvest. This is going to be a Harvest thing. So, pub. Observatory, pub. Because you're brewing potion. Because you're brewing, right? Pub. 4th rank. Harvest. Brew potions. Bigby Burden. Kiss of Spider Queen. Moonlight. Serenade. Positive reinforcement. Sterner stuff. Cool. Brew potions. Enlarge. Spider climb. Has 1 magical beverage on tap. Choose from the options. They also learn where the location is. Fine. At the start of your turn, this magic loses potency after an hour. Enlarging the facility equals more. Let's see. Bigby's Burden is enlarge. 24 hours. How many of these can we create? The pub has 1 magical beverage on tap, chosen from the options below. Oh, got it. It just, while you're there, it lasts. So you can walk away with Spider Climb and it burns off. We're going to bottle this stuff and take it on adventures with us so we can pop the cork, bonus action, drink it, and then have the effect trigger us, apparently for 24 hours. So this is going to be one of those instances where you could think that you could just mass produce this stuff forever, and you could make this stuff as a oddity, like a venue. While at your pub, you get to spider climb. So all of the furniture's on the ceiling, for instance, or on the walls, and you can sit sideways if you want to. Your drink would fall off, but that's your problem. But you could do that. So like you could have like a jungle room where everyone's running around spider climbing upside down and playing laser tag or something. You can have the enlarged thing to do like feats of strength, like make an exit like a theme park out of it, and it lasts while they're there, and when they leave, it drops. Or you could bottle the stuff and take it with you. If you were to make this a thing that you try to make money off of, this would just feed into the idea of you provide these things to people, they drink them as entertainment type stuff, and that's where your income gets generated that maintains your lifestyle. However, we can hold we can set aside a batch of this stuff so that you can take it on adventures with you for yourself out of our supply chain that we've been using. We're profitable enough that we're able to sock some of these aside for you. Anytime you come through, we can provide you with if these end up being first rank things that you can do, it would be basically you reserve a point each as an order. You just maintain a number of points of these and you can just have access to them. So enlarge, then we have Spider Climb. These are all second level spells, so that feels like Spider Climb lasts how long? 24 hours. Moonlight Serenade, Dark Vision, 24 hours. Positive Reinforcement, Resistance and Necrotic Damage. And then Sterner Stuff, 24 hours. Succeed Saving Throw. Auto succeed. Frighten. Let's see. We had it right up above in the observation. We had the Potion of Heroism. First level Bless. Dark Vision. So second level. Equals uncommon. Equals uncommon. Equals uncommon magic item. Equals and resist necrotic damage. That also feels uncommon. Like 5th, 6th level, I can see you doing that. Definitely 9th level. Auto succeed a frightened save for 24 hours. That actually feels rare. 24 hours. Let's just call that rare. Third rank. Harvest. So we're setting the scale here. So this is harvesting. So we have the greenhouse and the garden, and now we have the pub, which is creating potions. We already had crafting potions up above. We also had the scaling of just empowering in general, but now we're seeing that the pub is filling in more pieces about like type of potions that we can brew. So I'm cool with that. Reliquary. Starts off as 4th rank. Cramp space. 4th rank harvest. Hey, it holds sacred objects. Reliquary Charm. After spending a long rest in your Bastion, you gain a magical charm that lasts for 7 days or until you use it. The charm allows you... we should have brew potions. Switch each week. I don't like the idea of having to switch each week between like one specific one. The purpose of this was to be able to have these things available to you kind of like on the fly. And we have these on the fly and these. Change type per season. We grow those things and we change them for a season. Grow these things, we change these per season. Do I want to have that change per season rule in there? Or do we just want to have a floating variable that we can just pull from this list? If we structure this out so that we're going to have just a stacked list of harvest material, like harvest animal, harvest plant, harvest mineral. I didn't go into that, did I? Change garden type once, type decorative, first rank harvest equals plant, comma, animal. Let's do that. Greenhouse equals fruit of restoration, herb, poison, plant, garden is plant, laboratory, arcane supplies, second rank harvest equals plant, mineral, third rank harvest equals plant, mineral. That makes sense. Let's see, laboratory, third rank, plant, mineral. This is empower, so it doesn't require any kind of materials. Brew potion does require material, equals plant, equals plant. Yeah, we got a really good list of plant harvesting operations going right now. Let's go back up to the top to make sure it's all resolved. Yeah. So far, so good. This is interesting. Pub, that's good. Reliquary. What do we create with a reliquary? This is empower. Reliquary doesn't feel like harvest at all right now. Talisman. You harvest order. You commission a hireling to produce a specially prepared talisman for you to use. The talisman usually takes the form of an amulet, a rune carved box, or a statuette. But it can be. This is empower, not harvest. You can use this talisman to place on one spells, to replace spells material components, providing components have a cost of 1,000. Ooh, neat. Oh, I can see why this is harvesting, because it's material. Ooh, it's material components. Nice. Reliquary, harvest. Equals plant, mineral. Let's see. This is provide material components for casting. Provide a talisman that replaces the need for specific material components up to 1,000 GP in cost. Plant, animal, mineral. Rank, level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. So these are the levels that you can kick. So if you have a reliquary, you have a harvesting operation, you're able to, like if you need diamonds, for instance, to be able to cast, what, Wall of Force or something? Well, then that's a Wall of Force. Is a 5th level spell. That's going to be a 3rd rank reliquary that you need 3 points invested to be able to have a harvesting operation with a supply chain for minerals. You're going to have the thing that you need to cast this spell. And so just destroy it. Does this destroy it once? You can use this talisman in place of one spell's material components, provided the components have a cost of 1,000 gold pieces or less. If the spells normally consume its components, the talisman isn't consumed. After the talisman has been used this way, it can't be used again until you return it to your reliquary and use another harvest order to prepare it. Okay, so what we're gonna what this is basically gonna get translated into is provide material components for spells up to the rank of facility. Well, we have the warehouse already that maintains materials for crafting. This is an idea that we now require. 4th rank harvest requires warehouse. Because a 3rd rank. Okay, so let's go look at warehouses real quick. Which could be a harvest or trade. It works for both. Craft, harvest, and trade. Material storage. There you go. You maintain inventory of material gained from trade or harvesting to craft and empower items. The amount of resources required to maintain storage is equal to the maximum rank of craft or empower order you issue. Rank, resources, notes. Only one type of material can be stored in a 1st rank material storage facility. 2nd rank, you can have 2 types of material stored. 3rd rank, all materials can be stored. So once you have a 3rd rank or a higher resource, you can have all your materials. So what we're looking at here is doubling down. So if, for instance, I needed those diamonds, and that diamond is for a 5th level spell, I need to have a 3rd rank storage resource, and then on top of that, I need to have 3rd rank for those. No, because the material storage can be separate. Material resources, because this is material to create to craft to craft magic items. From trade, harvesting, craft, empower the amount rank rank of craft, harvest, or empower order to issue. There we go. Harvesting is establishing crafting of raw materials. Harvest is the blank spot between craft and trade. Craft and empower. I'm good with that. That works out. So yeah, this would be separate. This would be similar to, and it would be for each type. So we don't have to have material storage, but we do either need to have a trade or, so this would be, you maintain inventory of material gained from trade or harvesting to craft and empower items. The amount of resources required to maintain storage is equal to the maximum rank of craft, harvest, or empower order you issue. Each material requires a separate investment to maintain. Thank you, Timely Timer. There, okay, so that works. This guarantees that you don't need to make a resource, a materials check when you're crafting or creating a magic item. That's already in place. What we're looking at now is creating, providing material components for casting spells, which is separate because it is a character benefit. Characters benefit from crafting, and now we're switching it to resources available for characters while they're adventuring. So that also covers gap, but there's actually material components. So I like that idea though. So the reliquary. What if we did it like this? What if there's there's three different gears, right? Three different genres of magic. There's divine, there's arcane, and there's primal. What if we needed to have material components for each different type of spell list? So your primal needs its own facility, arcane needs its own facility, and divine needs its own facility. But those would be separate from like from the material storage. That's what we're looking at. That's what I'm thinking. So harvest. So this would be craft, empower, harvest. Does not require warehouse. Provides. That's it. Provides material components I'm going to put quotations here for what it's supposed to do, and down here what we'll do. Provide material components for spells up to the rank of the facility. For spells of 1 notes. 1 type of magic. 2 types of magic. 3 types of magic. We'll call it sources. I don't know if there's an official word for this. Maybe we can find that out. 2 type, 1 source. What we'll do: provide material components for spells from one or more sources of magic up to level equals rank, a level up determined by the rank of the facility. So a first rank Bastion can't have more than 1 source of magic in its reliquary, in its basically storage. Let's see. So we need 3 types, 3 sources equals divine, arcane, divine, primal. So a first rank facility could have 1 source. So you could have a first rank could have 3 sources and cover all of them for first level spells. Once you get into second rank, 1 facility covers 2 sources. It has to be second rank to do so. And once you get to third rank, that 1 facility requiring 3 points covers all 3 sources of magic up to 5th level spells, and then 6th level, 7th level, and then 8th and 9th level spells. So great, that covers it. So we're calling it, Let's see. Arcane equals divine equals reliquary. Primal equals, I don't know what we're going to see. We're at reliquary, sanctuary, sanctum. Well, that resolved what the reliquary was. So I guess we'll see what the sacristy does. Holy water, magic item. And then spell refreshment. Having a sacristy allows you to regain one expended spell slot of level 5 or lower after spending an entire short rest in your bastion. You can't gain this benefit again. Jesus, okay. Well, okay, fine, whatever. Sacristy gets folded in. Sanctuary charm, sacred bonus, craft. Commission the hireling to make a druidic focus or a holy symbol. So the sanctuary, there we go. Sanctuary is for divine, primal. And sacristy is effectively the same thing as reliquary. I'm not seeing a significant difference there. Holy water, sure, okay. How much does holy water cost? Let's verify that. A flask of holy water. $100 gold pieces per D8. 100 gold pieces is a minor magic item. Holy crap, that's cray. When you take the attack action, you can replace one of your attacks with throwing a flask of holy water. Target one creature you can see within 20 feet of yourself. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. Or take 2d8 radiant damage if it is fiend or undead. Radiant damage. I did not anticipate that. Oh, you can empower it. Oh, super cool. It's 25 gold for 2d8, and then for every extra 100 gold pieces you pour into it, it adds on an extra d8. Up to 7d8 for 500 gold. Jeebus. And you don't get access to us until 3rd. Okay, I see a path there. Sacristy. Reliquary. Sacristy. Empower. Create holy water or holy symbol. Create holy water. Rank. Damage. 3d8. Rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 3d8, 4d8, 5d8, 6d8, 7d8. What would this be? Per day, you can anoint holy water, The potency of the water is determined by your rank of facility. So I could maintain one facility at 5th rank to create 78, or I could maintain 5 facilities, creating 5 flasks of 3d8. And this is create holy water, and that's per day. Holy Hannah, that's really good. Create holy symbol. 1 per day per rank. That works. Yeah, I'm pretty good with that. And then Sanctuary, let's look at the Reliquary, Secretary. This is Harvest. Yeah, material components. Charm allows you to cast greater restoration, 5th level spell. And then, what is this? Reliquary. Thank you. Third rank. Empower. Gain charm to cast greater restoration once. Is it once? In next 7 days. Cool. Sacristy. I'm seeing a ton of potential here. I'm loving this. Yeah, so we have the 3 types of material, and we have the 3 sources of magic, and then we can divide those up between. So it looks like we're starting to accumulate a list, a little bit of a list of dividing between material components and like holy symbols or spell focuses. Right. So up here we need 1 source of magic. The sacristy, create 1 holy symbol. Create divine spell focus. First, empower. That's appropriate. First, empower. Power harvest. Good. I don't know what the arcane is yet. Reliquary. No, is it sacristy? Maybe it's supposed to be... No, sacristy. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what Sanctuary does. Maybe it does both. And then spell refreshment. First, empowerment. Gain a spell. Short rest to regain spell level equal. Rank of facility. Good. Sacristy, we got that covered. And now Sanctuary. Second rank. Craft is where it's starting at. And come on. Thank you. Roomy. First rank equals create. First rank in power. Equals create divine or primal spellcasting focus. Sanctuary charm. After spending a long rest in your bastion, you gain a magical charm. The charm allows you to cast Healing Word, first level. First rank and power equals charm. Healing Word times 1 in next week. And then Sacred Focus. When you issue the craft order facility, commission the facilities hireling to craft a druidic focus or wooden or holy symbol. No money. Okay, we have that covered. Okay, cool. So Sanctuary, Sacristy is holy symbol and divine spell focus. Reliquary. Yeah, this is probably going to end up being like let's look at what is the definition of a reliquary. Define reliquary, because that might just be a good term. A container for holy relics. What is the equivalent to a reliquary for arcane magic? What a exoteric term. Magical focus, arcane repository. In context of arcane magic, the closest equivalent to a reliquary would be a magical focus or arcane repository, a special item that stores and channels arcane energy, often containing a powerful magical component, so like a rare gem. Wow. Okay, this is a great AI answer, honestly. Thanks. Repository. Okay. I can run with that. Is that the word that they used? Arcane depository? Repository. Arcane repository. Divine reliquary. Druidic sanctuary. Nice. Sacristy, create holy stuff. I could see sacristy folding into the divine reliquary. Those two things ending up being the same thing. Is like you can make all this stuff. That makes a lot of sense. Repository, arcane repository doesn't really have much of an equivalent to holy water, does it? And druidic sanctuary. But yeah, those all track. Do we have an arcane repository? Arcane study. That's the equivalent. Oh wait. Is Cryptorium going to give us what we want? Well, let's go back up to arcane focus real quick. Arcane study. Arcane focus, there it is. Arcane book, magic item. Yeah, that's the answer. Arcane study. Nice. Let's respect the process and go into arcane study. Oops. Tap that alarm. Where are we at? 11:40. I've got 20 minutes left today. Cool. Yep. So far, so good. This is looking really good. Arcane Study. First rank. Empower. Equals create arcane focus. And then magic item. Book. Arcane focus. Spellbook. And charm. Identify. First rank empower equals gain charm to cast identify. Next. Dir 1 times 1 per week. There we go. Arcane Studies resolved. Reliquary, Sacristy, Sanctuary. This is all folding together really fucking nicely. Really, really nicely. God, this is going to be great. I am legit. I'm excited that we're able to organize all these different adventuring gear, artisan supply, like tool crafting things, and magic items. Plus the holy symbols and the spell focuses and the material components and the holy water, and this is all folding together really nicely into those 3 categories that we wanted to work within. So I'm tentatively excited here. Let's go back down to the sanctuary, and this is a sanctum, so that's different from sanctuary. This is a sanctum. What are you all about? 5th rank. Charm allows you to cast heal. 6th level spell. That's 4th rank. Charm to cast heal 1 time in next per week. And fortifying rites. Empower order. Inspire its hirelings to perform daily rites that benefit you and other characters in your name. The beneficiary doesn't need to be in the Bastion when the rites are performed to gain the benefit. Each time the beneficiary finishes a long rest, they gain temporary hit points equal to your level. Last 7 days. Level temporary hit points equal to your level. Okay, fortifying rites. Equals target creature gains 5 times temporary hit points per rank of facility. One per day for 1 week. 1 per long rest for 1 week. 1 per each long rest for 1 week. That's actually really fucking useful. You don't. Target doesn't need to be at Bastion. Now I'm thinking like all this divine stuff, none of it needs to be you at the Bastion. Like you can grant all these divine charms and yeah, and that bonus. I'm wondering if empower, like you can just like call down a beam of light from heaven. and your character's infused with however many ranks of shit that you're dumping onto them from your divine sanctum. I think that's really cool. I think it'd be neat to be able to do that with all three magics: divine light from above, or darkness consumes you from an evil god. Who knows? Maybe something from the ground or the environment infuses you with druidic empowerment, and then arcane. It could just be a burst of light or something. Or like you like get bubbled, like a sensor, like a scry sensor appears and then bubbles you. So like maybe it can be like you can be targeted by your Bastion from anywhere. Like it has to be in your facility until you get scry at 3rd rank, and then you can start targeting people anywhere in existence. Or like 3rd rank could be like anywhere in the world, 4th rank could be in the same wild space system, and then 5th rank it could be like anywhere in the multiverse. That's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll do that. Let's go with maybe idea. Third, starting 3rd rank. Target can be anywhere in same world. 4th rank target can be anywhere same wild space. 5th rank target can be anywhere multiverse. That isn't blocked. That is accessible. Maybe requires scry observatory, scry oracle. Yeah, observatory oracle to do so. That's a fun idea. I'm going to be happy to play with that. So Sanctum. We're done with Sanctum. Now we're going on into the Scriptorum. I'm almost out of time. Oof. We're almost out of items too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what's going to happen is the next time the next time we have slotted to develop the Bastion system is going to be Thursday night next week. That is going to be, what is Thursday? Jesus. That's the 26th. Yeah, I have that day off. So we'll be back Thursday night on the 26th. And maybe I will be, maybe I won't. There's something telling me I might not be online Thursday nights. We might have some extended holiday stuff going on with me, friends, and family. We'll see what's going on there. So I'm going to instead say, because I normally don't have a Thursday lunch session, but I have the week off. So I'm going to have a Thursday lunch session on the 26th. We'll do Bastions at lunchtime on the 26th. And if we're here, if we're here, if there's nothing going on in my life on the evening of Thursday, then I'll plug in and keep doing more stuff with you then. Otherwise, yeah. So lunchtime Thursday is going to be the next time we're going to be working on Bastion system stuff. What time is it? Is 11:52? Yeah, we're almost done. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. When we pick up, we're going to be at the Scriptorium. And we have the Smithy. Stable. Storehouse. Oh, storehouse. We already have that covered with material storage. Storehouse. And teleportation circle. I think we have that covered already too. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five more locations that we need to resolve. So, there's a small chance that while I'm doing family stuff, Christmas family stuff, and I have downtime, that I might decide to pick away at these last pieces, just on my own time, because it seems that we've fallen into a decent cadence here. I can't work on Eberron while I'm hanging out with family, but sometimes we're couch surfing and I can casually tap at a tablet. If that's the case, then maybe I'll just finish these different rooms out. So when we come back Thursday at lunchtime, instead of me going through this process of breaking these components down, maybe if I'm done with all this already, we'll instead start structuring these things. Because it's hard for me to structure stuff on tablets. I can tap at stuff and like copy paste and stuff like that. That's not so bad, but I can't do any like massive heavy lifting on a tablet. So maybe I'll just save that. I don't know why I'm doing this. We'll save that. Yeah, we'll save that effort for when we're actually here. So maybe there's a chance that maybe when we're back together on Thursday, I'll have all these done, and then we'll start structuring them between materials and the sources of magic to be able to break those 3x3 grids down. Materials and sources of magic, and then mundane materials. So we'll have four columns and 3 rows, or maybe we'll have 3 columns with X's, and then we'll have rows. Material and yeah. Okay, we'll figure it out. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thanks a lot. If you think this stuff is cool and you want to see more of it and you're looking forward to seeing how this all develops, please stick around, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Check out my books in the description down below. They all have extensive free previews on the DMs Guild. You can join my Patreon if you want to chip in support that way. Otherwise, join my Discord community if you want to experiment with this stuff or be involved in any of the playtesting that we're doing. Sharpen knives, ask me questions. I'm happy to listen and work with you and develop and explore ideas with you. If that's something you want to do, you'll get credit in the book, but otherwise I'll be folding it in and consider you to be part of the playtesting team. So cheers. Thanks a lot. I'll be back. I'll be back Monday morning to continue working on Eberron art, and then I'll be around for lunchtime to work on the Artificer, and then I'll have playtesting Monday night, and then we'll be back again Tuesday morning for Eberron. Tuesday lunch probably to finish up the Artificer, and then Wednesday it's a holiday, so I'll be gone. So catch you guys later. Thanks a lot for being here. Cheers.